And to all the dangers of seeking occultism, to enter into the veils of magic, there are certain things that we need to take very seriously. And that is precisely what I want to talk to you about in this video. So follow me that today we'll see the greatest risks and problems you may have in entering the magic, the esotericism, and occultism. Well, so at first, what's magic? When we talk about it, we learn that we all do it. When you click to watch this video, you did imagine your life. You chose this little vibe to come in and make a big casuality in your life. That's what magic is. Okay then, today we'll talk about this great power, which in itself is something that promises many good things, many achievements, glamour, and everything. But we have to see the shadow side of things, right? So, when magic promises the manifestation, it really happens. That's why we have to think first. What is our will? Is this aligned with our uniqueness, with the Creator, with the whole? Because otherwise, we enter our first risk. Our first danger, which is to enter a certain madness, at a stage where you are no longer following up, but you already begin to tilt to one side or the other, whether by left hand or right hand. Something very orthodox, something very religious, or something very liberal, in a way that is self-centered. So to not take this first risk, you need to align with the uniqueness. Without dichotomy, without interference in the middle of the road, there is no between you and God. There shouldn't be in this case. Some entity, some deity, something like that. Because otherwise magic will work to some extent, and then this will generate noise and limitation for your journey. Whether in the culture of the Rixes, for example. If you say, I want to work only with this line. I am the son of Imoja. I am the son of I don't know who. And then you get to the point where you limit yourself to only to that and the rest. Well, where are the other orexes in this case? And that's something you need to understand in a larger overview, like not only in Hermes, Trismegisto, but in Apollo, in Dionysius, and all the rest of the pantheon, which constitutes this unity. It has to be all together, because otherwise you're doing an idolatry on something that's not meant to be done, and you're also limiting yourself. That's our first big problem of those who study magic and start to enter a lot in these fields. Our second problem is falling to the clutches of the ego. You sometimes begin to empower yourself, and this empowerment often begins to confuse a little what is the truth. And then I return to the point of madness and wisdom, because these are polarities of the same thing. Madness is a wisdom, is just accessed in a chaotic way, where the person does not have the understanding, the comprehension necessary to process and take away the righteousness, the order of wisdom, causing you to enter into chaos. Remember that when we enter the veils of magic, we expand our consciousness, our psychic, physical, and emotional abilities. With this, we begin to create our reality according to what we are vibrating. And that is the big question. Are you vibrating at the right frequency, or are you vibrating at some frequency brought by your ego? It is a very subtle point in which many people fall. Many high seekers, entitled the great masters, end up falling to this issue of ego, because it is very delicate. But we have to work on it, not doing everything the ego wants, but not suppressing it either. Now we pass to our third great problem, and here synchronously we're talking about first the spiritual level, secondly it was the mental level, and now at the third about the physical level, which is precisely the issue of the impostors. Those people who deceive and conceal, people who sometimes seek a material achievement, for example. And all I see the most is that material conquest needs to happen, and magic does help you conquer a certain fullness, financial, material stability, so you can climb the other levels later. But remember, everything has to be in a synchronic order within a formatting where your will is submissive to God's, to the Creator's greater will. And you simply execute it. It's not coming from your ego, but from your heart, climbing the chakra from the belly to the heart. By doing so, you can bring this will to manifest itself more truthfully. And the charlatans are usually people who sell a single truth, the person who only dares trends words, as if it were the ultimate truth of the universe that brings fullness, prosperity, and abundance. And in the middle of it, they use various tools, which happens since the beginnings of humanity, including religions, institutions, the greatest quacks of our universe, because we are at the mercy of a thought of a religious canon of doctrines, philosophies, ideologies, and dogmas. And nations and eras are still built on top of it. But hey, we can talk about the types of charlatans in another video. For now, we just need to understand that one of the greatest dangers in the world of occultism is to be at mercy of any person or order because there is no ultimate truth. And now we're going to talk about our fourth and last problem of those who enter the magic. Of the one who, paraphrasing Socrates, who ignores what he ignores, and worse yet, fears what he does not know. This is the worst of all, the ignorant, who's afraid of the unknown. Many people fall into these clutches of fears, ignorance, and panic, right? But it inhibits you of reaching to your potential, making you not explore what is out there to explore, to experience, and to discover. If you're in this world and you are like this, it would be better just if you weren't, because you can never enter into this greatest danger of magic. Okay, now, so first to end our video about the four risks of the occultism, we can sum it. The first is when you become corrupted, lose the direct connection, and start serving two masters. And second is you not knowing how to deal with all this opening up and enter the mental state of madness and egocentrism, which is something aimed at itself, not at your heart. The third point would be when you fall into the fallacy of charlatans and malicious peoples who claim to have the unique truth of the universe, but are actually deceiving you. And now lastly is you fall into the clutches of ignorance and fear, and enter into this unknown with the airtight light of wisdom in your hand, illuminating all these veils, shadows, and everything else that exists within esotericism, occultism, and within what we do not know but is out there to discover. Wow guys, I hope you liked the video. Give us your opinions and ideas in the comments. Also leave your like if you think that we deserve it. And subscribe here to not lose our next content, where we will be brought to you more theories and more facts too.